All right, it is time now to talk about Dallas City Hall once again. We've been talking about this for months now. There has been a lot of discussion about what's going to happen with that big building there. And we've gotten a few votes on this as well, and we've gotten another one of those. And so we're bringing back the editor-in-chief of the Dallas Business Journals, Will Anderson. I always say journals. It's the Dallas Business Journal. You only oversee one, right?
It's just the one.
Okay, just the one. It may feel like more than one sometimes, though. All right, so we've had another vote on this. It was early this morning about City Hall. It left a little bit of a lack of clarity. What was decided here? What does this mean?
Well, I get the lack of clarity because after weeks of build-up, late last night, about 1:30, so early in the morning, really, the City Council, Dallas City Council, voted to keep studying the issue. I mean, well, really what they voted on was they directed the city manager to explore their options, right, to gather more data on what's going to happen. Crucially, I think it was interesting, they also added, so they're going to study where City Hall could move. They're also going to look now at what could be done with the current City Hall site. That was kind of added to the directive for the city manager. So, yes, it's still, continuing to examine and learn more. And people, there was some confusion about that or uncertainty, or they thought they were going to vote to move ahead. But that's not really how city government works. They want to take their time. They want to examine this issue, and we'll have weeks and months more of this.
Yeah, it seems like we talk and talk and talk, and then they go, let's study the issue some more, and then more talk and talk and talk, and then more study. But as you say, that's the way things move, and they move slowly. Meantime, we have some very distinctive camps setting up here. Some people, feeling really strongly about keeping the current City Hall, and others saying we need to leave it, and there could be a redevelopment here. Can you kind of bring us up to speed on the camps? Exactly.
So on the pro-moving City Hall side, a lot of people see this as an opportunity to re-energize a part of downtown that's a little lackluster. There's a lot of office vacancy in downtown Dallas, especially on that south side where City Hall is, where we are. So yeah, especially downtown business interests, real estate people, landowners, they say, hey, you could have a really cool mixed-use development if you did something here at City Hall.
Prime location. Yeah.
Prime location, yeah, and it's got a beautiful plaza that you could keep or redevelop, do something else with. So there's that side, and the other side is, yes, preservationists. Also folks who are frankly just like worried about the speed that this is happening at, because again, we're talking about different time scales when we're talking about city government. We've been talking about this for weeks, but this, I get too, this was last night, yesterday into this morning, was the first time the full city council was wrestling with this. So they, some people say we just need to take it a little bit slower and understand what's going on. Some people say too, it's just, Dallas is again considering throwing away, some of its history to chase the next big thing. So I get pieces of all those different arguments, and who kind of comes out in the end is going to have a big impact on the future of downtown.
Yeah, so let's talk about what the next big thing could be if indeed council, the city, decides to leave City Hall and do something else with that site. This has been talked about a lot. The Dallas Mavericks are not like in these negotiations, making these votes and discussions happen. But a lot has been said about the possibility that Dallas, downtown Dallas has had some struggles recently. AT&T leaving was a huge one. If they were able to keep the Dallas Mavericks downtown by moving them to that site, a lot of people have really just like licked their chops at that possibility.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting and important to talk about it that way. But from the city's perspective, they are saying we're going to vote on City Hall and its cost and what we're going to do. And the Mavericks are also trying to stay out of this fight. They don't want to go anywhere near this. They said,
so both of them are trying to keep those two things very separate.
You figure out what you want to do, and then we'll have a discussion. Of course, there can be informal discussions happening too about the possibilities and what the future would look like. And I always encourage people, I think it makes sense to talk about the Mavericks now or other uses, because if you're going to vote to move on from City Hall, well, then what do you do? Like, how do you weigh the lack of, if there's no idea of what to do with it there, how do you even weigh the opportunity cost of moving things like that? So yeah, Mavericks are trying to stay out of it, but they have been, it has been widely discussed that they've considered the City Hall site or maybe some kind of combination of downtown sites that involve that, but they would rather that happens first before they kind of get dragged into it.
It's interesting to watch this evolve as we go through the months, but thanks for coming in once again and kind of bringing us up to speed. I think, some people tend to tune it out, like, oh, they're still talking about it, but it's good to have these discussions from time to time.
You'll get some more reports in the coming months. I think May is when you'll first start the next chance you'll hear. They're talking about moving 911 other operation centers, so those reports will come back. So you've got some more time frame to kind of look forward to.
We'll have to have you back. Will Anderson, the editor-in-chief of the Dallas Business Journal, singular, Dallas Business Journal. Thanks so much for being here again.